Oh, for God's sake, I forgot my goddamn icon for the stream. There it is. Fucking. Yeah, if you wanted to know why Year of the Mecha started late this time compared to all the other times, hardware failures and frustration involving that. That's why. I need a new component distribution amplifier now. Fuck everything.
Things are exploding behind the scenes, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. We got Neff back, however.
Yeah, I am here. At least it's me, Neff, your demon gal, for watching some Armored Core.
Mm-hmm. And wait, hold on. Is the okay? Hold on a second. I was
What's up?
good.
I
was trying to double check with the like I'm testing something in the chat for a minute. Oh, son of a bitch! It's like not the on-screen chat box is also not showing up.
Oh no! I feel
fuck
bad.
This shit. Fuck.
I feel bad for laughing, but that's.
Oh no!
Hi, Taka. Yeah. Welcome.
Oops, fucking indeed. God. Just.
Load pairing component distribution amplifier.
This is my mental state right now if you're seeing it on stream. Fuck it, we're just gonna keep going. I don't care.
Okay. That's the end of the scuff. This is the end of the scuff. I'm calling it here.
It better.
Anyways, I'm like Arclight said, I'm back here and I'm here to watch some Armored Core.
Oh yeah, that is what we were playing. I've been so frustrated. I just my brain just like had a stroke and almost forgot what game we were even playing today. This should be more cause for celebration, if anything. The fact that it took us 7 weeks and we're now like at a Mecha franchise that more people are probably familiar with in passing.
Yeah, Armored Core is definitely something I think a lot more people would know. Although this is the first one. This is the...
Yeah, we're going in order.
Yeah. Which I have never seen the first one. I've only seen 4 Answer, and I think that's it.
Yeah, you're gonna learn today. Because, to give just, like, a quick context as far as, like, what my history with the Armored Core series is, like, how into it am I compared to, like, most others? I have played every mainline game to completion, roughly. Well, like, on some varying levels of completion, because, like, that's a whole can of worms if we're talking about, like, what true 100% in Silent Line is. But if the criteria is more like I have played through every single mission and seen every game to the end, yes, I have done that. Some more times than others.
That is a lot of Armored Core. So where did you start? Like, when did...
2009 through emulation. Because, admittedly, this was something where I had known about Armored Core years before, but never really, like, actually played any of them. But, like, it was something that I knew it existed, and I knew that the developer behind it was called From Software. And 2009 was the year when Demon's Souls was starting to make waves, like, as far as being, like, a, you know, like this hot new niche PS3 exclusive that was super hard and all that stuff. And realizing, oh, From Software, I recognize that name. They made Armored Core. I should actually play those games at some point. And then I just, you know, this was 2009. Like, but at this point in time, you know, like, the primary PS1 emulator you would have used at the time was EPSXE, if that rings a bell for anyone. And I just downloaded the ISO, or I guess more accurately would have been a bin.q file, since these were CD games after all. These were not DVDs yet. And just played through it, and then looking up more details about the game, realizing that there were more games for the series on PS1, and not only were they follow-ups, but that they were basically standalone expansion packs where you could transfer your save data. And when I realized what that meant, it was oh, this is a series I am going to have to play in order and stick with to a specific method for the long haul, as it were. So, yeah, I say I started in 2009, but if you ask me, by the time I had played through all of the mainline games to completion, it felt like my journey was over. It was about 2018.
Jeez.
There were long breaks in between on account of my skill level had not improved fast enough over time for some of the later games, because the PS2 games are very, very iterative on what this game started. As well as the fact that, PS2 emulation, especially for, the years I was wanting to, try it out, way more fucky compared to PS1 emulation. So, I was more at the mercy of having to hunt down physical copies, which I was able to do.
Yeah, PS2 emulation is still not in a great place, but so I guess you got to do with what you got.
Yeah,
so
it is improving, admittedly. PCSX2 has been working off some of its tech debts that it's accrued from the past couple of years because of some smart changes to their whole system and whatnot. And obviously with it constantly improving PC performance, it's you're still able to brute force some of those more troublesome games to some degree.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm mostly going to be playing off of a save file that I've had for years, but first I do want to demonstrate something that obviously you're only going to see if you start with a new game. We're just going to go with a blank name because it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're nobody. This is the only test we give to people who want to become a Raven. You must battle against the opponent AC and survive. If you survive, you'll be considered a Raven. If you don't, you're dead. Good luck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, throwing you in the deep end.
Here's your test. Don't fucking die. If you die, then sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah, and it's also going to be the thing that gives people their first introduction to whether or not Armored Core may or may not be for them, and that is the controls.
Okay, so I have seen the reverse grip that people use for the later games.
What
are the controls?
That grip, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, no one actually uses that grip in a serious manner. That was entirely a joke from a Japanese player to take the piss out of everyone that was complaining about how Armored Core games are so hard to control.
I can't believe I was lied to. I can't believe the internet would trick me like that.
Yeah,
so
it's the same trick that is purported by people that claim that For Answer is the best Armored Core game, which they are clearly they are not anyone you should consider friends.
So what's the controls in this game, since it's the first one?
D-pad moves you forward, backwards, and turns left and right. You strafe with R1 and L1. L2 and R2 are for looking up and looking down. It is the same movement and aiming controls as Kingsfield.
Wait, D-pad, there's no... Oh,
yeah.
Right, this is before...
This game came out in 1997. We were still deep in the digital pad. This was before Dual Analog and Dual Shock came out.
Oh, God.
So you can see how I kind of struggled there because I'm not used to that. But that also raises a question. Hold on.
Yeah?
If you played through every single one of these games and got deep into them, how are you struggling that bad with the controls? Well, it's simple. These games allow you to customize your control mappings. Something that was very rare for Japanese games then, and even then still rare now.
Yeah.
So you can see, yeah, it's like look up with L2, look down with R2.
Jeez.
Like I'm gonna quickly refresh the... Yeah, because I felt like I heard a bit of a desync in the audio. No Negcon support. That's right, there's none of that. But I remapped these controls for like the pre-dual analog Armored Core games, I'm gonna say, because also surprising to some is that Armored Core games did not adopt like a dual analog control method until Nexus, which was the 8th game deep in the middle of the PS2 generation.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so this is what people had by default, and because some people are not adventurous enough or like big brain enough to like go out of their way to change control mappings to suit their personal needs, because that exists for a fucking reason. You know, PC games have that for a good reason.
Yeah.
I made a very simple change to have controlling an AC in these games be infinitely more comfortable and have the extended benefit of, I guess, better selling the fantasy of piloting a mecha. And you're going to see what that is in, like, 4 input changes.
Okay, that...
You're
is it making
aiming and steering with the D-pad, and you're using R2 and L2 to go forward and backwards as if they were pedals in a vehicle.
That makes much more sense, actually.
Yeah. Like, that goes...
Yeah.
It, like, when I did that on a whim, trying to, like, figure out what works, because I did something that, you know, like, I think most other people would initially... try to do first, which is they would map the turn and look directions to the face buttons, you know, like where they would try and do something that like digitally makes sense as like replicating a dual analog kind of setup. But I never liked how that felt, because unlike a D-pad, like the face buttons are separated, and it just makes the idea of pressing what you need for like diagonal inputs just that slightly less reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it works fine if you're working it in a game like, say, Binding of Isaac, where, like, it's a game where you can fire in 4 cardinal directions and only that, so it makes sense. But here, like, going with, like, having the pedals for moving forward, like, well, I call them pedals, they're shoulder buttons, that's the real thing. But, like, yeah, shoulder buttons for, like... strafing and like going forward and backwards as if they were accelerate and reverse pedals is what got the mindset into my head at a very early phase, where like I basically say it as a mantra to get people in the headspace of like not criticizing mecha games for when they don't immediately adhere to like modern control aesthetics. A mecha is a vehicle. I've arrived for crab grip.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I already did it for Nev. The crab grip is a lie.
I feel betrayed. God, I still feel betrayed about that. I wanted to believe.
So this is
also like
this is my save file, which is I had completed the game. I have 47 sorties because that is absolutely the bare minimum sorties you have to make in order to 100%. The game entirely.
Huh. Also, like what you're saying about like modern controls, I think this is even still back in the day when it was just like the Wild West and people were just doing, you know, just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what works.
MechWarrior
so it's
has
like in that experimental phase.
That's true. Yeah, MechWarrior does like take advantage of like throttle controls. You know, like them and like all those other like PC mecha simulation games from like the 90s, you know, are very deep in the simulation mindset, as it were.
Yeah.
Here is my AC, the Arc.
Okay. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
It's got your colors.
Admittedly, it grades it as above average, but I think it's pretty damn fucking good considering I have the best energy weapon in my right hand and the best laser sword in the left. It's not visible because it's built internally. The Karasawa a legendary weapon in the context of Armored Core. The name Karasawa comes from one of the developers that worked on the Armored Core team originally, and basically named it in his honor. But more familiar for FromSoft fans in general is the LS-99 Moonlight. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. That's a weapon in almost all FromSoft games.
Yeah, in varying forms. You know, most often it's like a blue-colored greatsword. Here, you know, by nature of how Armored Core operates, it's more like, you know, it's a laser blade. You know, like it extends out, you swing the arm, and it cuts things up. And then also I have like a back-mounted cannon weapon that's like it's like a laser cannon that even when I did like the Let's Play for this years and years back, like I think comments like made mention of it and I adopted it, just referred to it as the blow dryer gun because it kind of looks like one.
I can see, yeah.
It's a plasma cannon. It's one of those back weapons where it's like, because it's like a cannon class, what happens is like you cannot move and shoot with it at the same time. You basically have to plant your feet down in order to use it, which contributes to like another factor of like some people bouncing off these games early on because they're like, I want to use the big powerful fuck off weapons and still be able to move. What the hell? And I'm like, dude, you can't. Have you seen the size of this rifle? But it also factors into something that like most people also don't want to like really deal with, which I don't know if I have any. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to like go to the shop to buy some in order to demonstrate. But like a major part of Armored Core and kind of customizing your AC are the leg types. You know, bipedal's the obvious one. You know, it's iconic. Like, pretty much every box arts AC for every mainline game, as it were, like, always is, like, a bipedal type. Because it's the most identifiable. It's the most humanoid. But then, that BF Talk is just, like, bring it up right as I was getting to it. Yeah, we got reverse joints. We got little chicken walker legs. Which,
fucking let's go.
Yeah, their whole deal is like you got greater like jumping capabilities and air control, but it's like slightly less on the horizontal land movement. And then you got like the quad legs where like these have much greater horizontal movement, not as good like air control and like very high energy usage. But when you're on the ground and moving, you actually can use your back-mounted cannons. Because, you know, you got 4 legs, essentially. Like, that's basically... You're essentially a moving tripod. Or quad pod, I guess, in this case. And then you got tank treads, which...
yeah, of course.
Yeah, which are very heavy, have a lot of like, armor points associated with them. I'm still weirdly distracted by how quickly they're spinning. I feel like that might be an issue of like emulating the PS1 game like on a PS3 and I'm running it off the disc, but whatever. I'm trying not to think about it. It's weirdly disconcerting that it's spinning that fast and at 60 frames per second when the rest of the game does not operate at that speed.
The game is just a little confused. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Just tank treads in general are what you want to go with if you care about stacking up on defense and just dumping as many high damage weapons as possible. Fuck mobility. Kill everything with fire.
My kind of strategy. So, okay, I just need to ask really quickly.
Ask away.
This game is like mission based, right? Like there's is there like a real like, I don't want to say like a storyline, but is it just like any context to what you're doing?
Yeah, so it's like it's divided into 2 things. You obviously have your missions, you know, which they're all unlocked since this is a completed file. I feel like, god damn it, I think the audio is getting desynced again. Yeah, okay, that's weird. But then the other thing is you have mail. And this is basically where you get all your other context for what is going on in the rest of the world of Armored Core.
Ah.
Yeah. And
so this is where you...
Yeah, like, for instance, this is the first message we get once we complete our orientation as a Raven, which is literal trial by fire. Yeah. I'd love to play a game and read my email. Yeah, well, I mean, like...
Let me tell... Go ahead.
No, but it's just more like it leads to a sort of presentation that I've always kind of respected about how Armored Core does it and just how non-traditional it is. I almost describe it as being, like, voyeuristic, in a way, which makes it sound creepy, but I mean it more just in the sense that, like, it very rarely feels like that you, like, as a human character has any presence in the world, and, like, this menu is basically all you get your glimpses into it before going over to, like, the missions where the story is even more minimal because it's all about just doing your objective and getting paid. So
we're here to build cool robots.
Yeah. I guess maybe voyeuristic is not the best term. Maybe more like detached.
Yeah, detached is, I think, more what you're looking for.
Yeah, but I think for some reason I just went with that term first because I always imagined, like, the Raven's Nest, like, menus overall being something that feels the most like something that would be on, like, an operating system in this world. Like, you would see these exact menus running on a PC CRT monitor in this setting. Like, that's how I envision it. Yeah. So this whole message is just to kind of explain our role as a Raven. Ravens are mercenaries in the world of Armored Core that pilot the titular mecha of the same name. And being part of the Nest essentially means that this is where we get our missions. This is where we get information about what's happening in the world. We also get access to the shop where we can purchase new parts, which I should mention with the shop itself. Every single part has the exact same buy and sell value. And that's very important because you don't just straight up earn money as you complete missions. You also lose some of it. It's a matter of income and expenses.
What?
Yeah. So let's actually get into mission proper.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to remember what was, like, the name of, like, one of the first because, like, unfortunately with a lot of these missions, they're not listed in, like, the order that you would have, like, normally got them if you started a new game. We'll do eliminate squatters. Yeah, like, because, yeah, I recall this is, like, one of the first two mission choices you get. Eliminate a group of illegal squatters at an abandoned
illegal squatters!
Yeah. Yeah, the old way of doing it is to just send, like, just regular dudes to evict them. Unfortunately, the squatters in this case have their own mecha. They have MTs with them, so we gotta respond with even bigger mecha.
Get up between you and me, I would just leave those squatters alone, but I guess you just gotta get paid.
King Kuba, bring it up. Can't I just invest in robotic company stock and invest that way instead? Honestly, if there isn't a game that exists like that on Steam, someone definitely needs to make that. Yeah.
Standpoint. Firmly teach them the rules of society.
Firmly teach them the rules of society. This underground society that exists entirely because, like, everything got fucked up by the Great Disaster, or whatever it's called, like, on the surface, that it's no longer hospitable. The Great Devastation or something it's called. Whatever. It's a very generic name for, like, an apocalyptic event that came about from humans waging the biggest war in the history of mankind. I'm about to hustle and prefer not getting in the line of fire. Yeah, of course. How could I forget, King Kuma? You're a capitalist.
Main system
engaged. The housing crisis never got solved in the future.
No,
you're goddamn right it didn't.
No. We solved the housing crisis by blowing up people with giant mechas.
Yeah. So look at that. Like, that was like an example of one of their mecha. It's just like a crane bulldozer outfitted with guns.
This feels a little unfair.
No, what are you talking about?
You know, I'm sure they had it coming. Maybe.
Yeah. It's also that one just blew. Oh wait, though I thought he blew himself up because like.
Oh.
But I think he just damaged himself because AI in this game can be very, very stupid sometimes. But yeah, here we are, just flying around, boosting whatever in our armored core.
Now, what's the game about the housing crisis, Kuma? Also, I was just about to ask, so if you were playing this game for the first time,
Yeah.
would these early missions be challenging? Because you're kind of using a late game mecha here, right?
Marginally more challenging, but I think it's, again, the bigger issue would just be people having to come to grips with, like, you know, controlling your AC. But,
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. With these early missions, it's not that hard to, like, see to the end of them, even with, like, the starting AC. The harder part is what happens when we get to the mission results screen and you realize that you can't just complete missions by the skin of your teeth. Anyways, wondering where. Anyway, let's do some overkill.
Target of operation cleared. System switched
Did
to
you-
normal mode.
Okay, you know what? I was going to ask if that was really necessary, but I guess it is.
So
You're the
here
person
it
in
is.
control.
Incoming expense. We got our reward. Some missions have a special edition that gets added to it. Then you have expenses, which include ammunition, AC repair, and special deduction, which again is mission dependent. That gets put into your balance and then transferred to total credits. And ammunition especially, well, that combined with like AC repair is how with these early missions, because the payout is so small. Because again, there's like payouts that like go like up around like the 50 grand or even higher. And like if you're taking a starter AC and you're using up most of your ammunition and like wasting 90% of your armor points, you're gonna lose more money than you earn. Yeah, this is very much a game that like highlights that you're playing this as a mercenary. And the reason why ammunition cost is 0 is because energy weapons completely bypass that.
Don't have to worry about ammunition when you're just blasting them with energy, pure energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The downside, obviously, is that even though it has its own ammunition count, which I imagine is a case of it has casings, but the casings are reusable. So that might be a thing. But it also powers it with your energy meter, which is like that big vertical bar on like the left. Also, I feel like I'm still noticing like slight desyncs. I think this might just be a weird issue that always comes up with like PS3 stuff and like when fading to black or something like that. I don't know. Well, I'll probably still be doing this like repeatedly, so just kind of as it goes along. But bear with me. Yet the cost of liking giant robots means society still sucks. Yeah, this fits firmly in like the real robot genre, as it were, and is very 80s inspired. I made mention before how it's like Armored Trooper Votoms and like Ryosuke Takahashi 80s mecha anime in general has had like a big influence on like a lot of the major like mecha game franchises that came out like in the 90s, and Armored Core is absolutely a product of that influence.
I absolutely do feel like you see more in that style of Photoms, Lasner, you know, those kind of real robot stuff, and more of that and less of super robot stuff, which you don't see as much.
Yeah. I imagine a lot of it is because of how the nature of like super robot shows are and their sort of escalation. They're kind of by nature meant to be a lot more loose with their rules.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a lot easier to take like strict rules of like a real robot anime and try and like create a parallel to that in game mechanics.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is an example of how you occasionally get missions where they reward you with like a new part. However, that also means the part is the payout. There's no additional credits. So
What?
Yeah, but that also gets back to how I mentioned that parts that you buy in the shop also sell for the same amount you buy them. You could sell the parts if you just want the money quick, if you need
system
to.
engaging combat mode.
And that also,
okay, so
yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
what?
so- yeah, but this is a prototype MT from like another corporation that were basically, you ever had any of like those like emails or like offers for like someone is doing like a field study or like conducting a test? You come in to do this particular thing and you'll be compensated with like an Amazon gift card or something like extremely minor like that. I don't know. I've definitely had that when like I was living in Washington State because of all like different like tech companies and whatnot. Like that's what this feels like to me.
Sorry,
Is that-
but you get no break.
Except this
Try
one
to test
involved.
against another MT.
You get no break.
Yeah. Yeah, they deploy a second one immediately. Yeah, free stuff. Sign me up. Just get in this robot and fight another robot at the risk of your own hell.
You might die, but you know, you get a free gift card out of it.
Yeah. In this case, the gift card is just like we have Yeah, but you can see I was able to very rapid fire. I can't believe his fucking like machine gun shots missed me because like my AC was like crouching for that.
Was that what was happening? Were you crouching? I couldn't tell.
Well, like yeah, well, it's more like I had to kneel in order to use the my back cannon.
System switched to normal.
Get in the robot, Arclight. I am in the robot. Shut up.
I think what I wasn't ready for was, I guess, would you call it satire? The satire they're putting in this game, like you're gonna, you're gonna have to test out this robot. You might die, but them's the breaks.
It's very I don't think there's much like in the way of like. Because satire implies that there's like some intent of like dark comedy, at least like in this situation. Yeah. I think it's like comedy doesn't really play up in the context of Armored Core. Like, if it does, it's unintentional. Like this series, by its very nature, has an extremely bleak, cynical outlook on humanity. Is how I would put it, in a way that like I mean, I guess I might as well bring it up for comparison because motherfuckers out there are more familiar with From Software for this than Armored Core, but kind of like with Souls games, it's... But I feel like it's kind of like a lot more harsher in kind of how it deals with like the kind of inherently violent nature of humanity, where I feel like Souls is a lot more on the... just the dying nature of the world itself and what someone does with that. Here, it's way more focused on, like... just the inherent nature in humanity to just, like, be completely irresponsible when they are given the slightest taste of freedom. And it becomes, like, this sort of balance of, like... of freedom and control. Like, how much is too much in one direction or the other?
I mean, I think satire was the wrong words for it. I think, but I definitely caught that vibe from the little I've seen of the other Armored Core games.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's one bit where it's like, if it was meant to be comedy, it'd be Metal Wolf. Exactly, and Metal Wolf is prime fucking satire, if only because like having to live in the current hellscape that is the U.S. rapidly approaching the end of the first quarter of the 21st century, I might add. We're rapidly approaching the time frame when Metal Wolf Chaos does happen, and I feel like it's having me more worried than it is excited.
Don't give Biden a mech, please.
No, we don't. But that would require them.
But anyways,
like, if they wanted to be successful, they would have to find like a neural system for piloting a mecha that is able to like not further accelerate his dementia. But I digress.
But anyways, so So I guess like that's the loop of this game. It's like you do missions, you get money, and then use the money to upgrade your mech, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There is a story that goes that goes through like a number of these missions, but a lot of them, like I would say like a good number of the missions have like pretty much nothing to do with each other. It's more like the sort of thing where you get like a selection of mission, you take one, and like that gets knocked off the list. And you can keep doing whatever missions you want in order as they come up, but eventually after you do X amount of missions, that's basically when the game triggers, like, a story or very important related mission that needs to come up. And it's usually in relation to what this game's main plot is, in which the two mega corporations of this universe, Chrome and Murakumo Millennium, are at war with each other. And that war is escalating. And the neat thing about that is because of like the amount of choice that you have going through this game with missions, that also means you get to choose which missions you can choose that are of benefit to one corporation over the other. And so you get like some branching paths in that sense. This mission is a famous one. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Get angry. You hate my guts, don't you? Get mad. Get mad.
I fucking hate everything that is happening today, ever.
Can't believe how cursed today is. I'm so sorry. Hi, everyone. I think we're back.
We are, yes. At least the local recording is still fine, but I'm gonna have to fucking stitch this shit all over again. I am so sick and tired. Ugh.
You might have to like share your screen again.
Oh, right. Fuck, that's true. God damn it. Yeah, let me just get the window projector up. Share that again. All right. Yeah, if you're seeing that, that's good.
Yeah. Anyways, I need to know, Dan asked, do you get a railgun in this game?
No, you just get like really powerful like linear cannons and the like and stuff like that. But anything that's like very much resembles that of like, you know, like do you get like a railgun like in the same vein as something like what's equipped on Metal Gear Rex? No, you don't. The later games, like at least one of the games later on, I know has a gun that behaves very similarly to like a rail gun that you are familiar with traditionally. So that's a plus. Yeah. All right. I don't know. Metal Gear Rex is it's from Metal Gear Solid. Also, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear you talking for a while, and like that got me like absolutely concerned if I had lost Discord audio. No. Well, at least on the plus side, now that like OBS has crashed and restarted, that the on-screen chat box is working again. So, yay!
Hey, it's working now. Somehow, OBS crashing just made it fix itself.
Yeah. I only know Metal Gear Rising and Metal Wolf. I mean, those are good things to know, but I mean, obviously there's more to the Metal Gear series. You're probably not going to get anything as good of a high point as Metal Gear Rising, but what can you do?
Dropping AC.
Hard spected to railguns in Metal Wolf. Yes, absolutely. Like, railguns in Metal Wolf are their own beast. They're really good.
So you said this was like the most well-known mission or something?
One of the most well-known. It's the sort of thing where I'd say it's well-known in the sense that, like, one of the later games had, like, a second disc on it where, like, it just... there we go. Like, Kurosawa should, like, make quick work of this. But this is one of those missions where on Nexus, they had a second disc where they made recreations of, like, memorable missions from like the PS1 Armored Core games, and this was one of them. Because I mean, it seems simple enough now, but obviously with how you saw when we did like that MT test training mission, that's not the end of it.
This is Boulder. We're almost at the
Yeah,
destination.
Yeah, so we took care of like the dudes that were, well, most of them.
Enemy AC
Hold on.
approaching. Number of ACs, 1.
Yeah, we got an AC coming. I didn't get all of the flyers though, but shit. Well, hold on. Oh fuck. Oh, whatever.
Oh,
Well,
no.
I'll deal with the AC first then. That's fine.
I think that's a bigger problem.
Yep.
So I was going to ask if, like, AC fights are more intense.
They
Or
are,
as
even though it
intensive.
didn't look like it.
Oh, you just kind of smoked him while I was asking that.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where like kind of getting back to the complaint people have had about this series for so long regarding you can't use your back-mounted cannons without having to stay in place. But with how very primitive like the AI in this compared to later games, you really can just afford, if you spec your AC correctly, to stand still, kneel down, deploy your cannon, and then just dump everything on a target. Because otherwise, for like that would be pretty difficult, especially because this technically counted as like a defense mission, you know? We had to make sure that the train did not get destroyed.
Target of operation.
But it's memorable because like
System
it
switched
starts
to
out
normal
simple. The train arrives, which means okay, you now have a defense target, and you're still trying to deal with like the flying enemies, and then it springs an AC on you. It gets yeah.
Yeah. Well, I imagine if you were playing this for the first time and you didn't know all that was coming, it would be a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's a thing that From Software was very, very fond of doing with these games.
Oh god, I bet.
They ramp up the dickishness of it a lot in like the later PS2 games, and like considering that like how they go about making their games, at least the way that they used to, it's like I relish it every time. They're trying to find another good one, especially one that like I recall also involving an AC. Punk bot. Hi Asio. Only 7 minutes? You missed OBS crashing. That's what happened. Everything's been going wrong today. Just, let's see. Oh, here it is. Attack Urban Center. We get to cause mass destruction.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look, get to wreak havoc. The job is simple. Just fucking wreck shit up.
Worse than last week's Saturn crashing. Yeah, I'd say so. Well, no, that was yeah, that's right. Yeah, because last week was Assault Suit Lanos 2, and that was one where I had to constantly reset the Saturn because it would just freeze during like a load transition on certain missions. But but no, this was yeah, I would say this is worse because like the amount of technical issues I was having like before even starting this stream was an ordeal. It was bad. I'm trying not to think about it too much. Anyway, this mission, we have 3 minutes to just destroy as many things as possible in this area. We destroy as many things as we can for the most amount of money. Yep.
I feel like there's a twist here, but also I'm guessing there isn't any twist. It's just shoot everything.
I mean, the twist is we continue to destroy things. Gal City is going to take notice and go, hey, fucking stop that, and throw more shit at us.
Yeah, they would be a little annoyed at someone shooting them, I guess.
Destroying their real estate.
Yeah.
Gal's getting pissed off.
Main
Yes,
system
exactly.
Engaging combat mode.
Anyway, first things first, how I like to do it is just run over these cars.
Their fault for parking there. So there's
They
like
didn't
a
pay the
huge
meter.
variety of. Oh no, they didn't. So there's like a huge variety of missions in this
Yeah.
game, right?
Yeah, like there's like a good like 40 some missions. I unfortunately wasted like I unfortunately drained all of my energy meter right then and there, so I kind of have like this is
Oh.
obviously the downside you deal with if you're going with energy weapons is that you can't fire them unless your energy weapon is usable. No parking zone during robot fights. That's correct.
They should have seen this coming.
You, in the AC, surrender immediately.
You can't make me.
If you resist, we will attack without mercy.
It's cute that they think they stand a chance with you against you, apparently.
Especially with these chicken walkers. Fucking,
Yeah.
Fucking punks. Now then.
Can you like shoot down the buildings?
You cannot. Those are completely static meshes.
Damn.
Like the idea is that you, like the destructible objects are things like the signs and cars littered around.
Right. I guess they didn't have like the technology to make like destructible buildings yet.
I'm pretty sure it would have caused the PS1 to like literally explode in people's homes.
Yeah.
But things are going to get heated a little bit. Like these chicken walkers aren't the only thing that they'll be throwing at us.
Enemy
I'm good to-
reinforcements identified as a ranking
Oh.
AC.
Another AC.
Oh.
Enemy ranking AC
Oh.
identified
Yeah.
as Valkyrie.
And they keep mentioning like ranking AC. That's gonna be something that I'll absolutely have to show that menu for. Yeah, they're over there. Bye.
And they're gone.
Yeah, Karasawa may be a bit OP,
Yeah.
but this
I
is
was
more
about to
supposed to
say-
be like a. Like, this is not supposed to be like a, of showing off what, like, a starting playthrough looks like, because I did a Let's Play of this years and years ago. If you're very curious and want to see, like, my low video quality and, like, my poor writing, because it was simultaneously a video and screenshot LP.
Huh.
Look, it was 2014. I had very little resources.
Yeah, so I think this is just
Oh,
you
yeah,
like
that's
giving
right.
an overview of the game. Oh.
Kajmak for you brought up something that I completely forgot. You can blow up
Scheduled
objects that
time
are resting on the
exceeded.
top.
Combat operations.
I completely forgot about that.
okay.
I'm just more used to like clearing out the bottom level with all the cars. But yeah, look at our special edition. That's like the amount we earned from doing this mission. Just blowing everything up. So here's the ranking that was being referred to. Obviously, we're at the top.
Oh. Yeah.
Currently the strongest Raven after bringing down the top-ranking Hustler 1.
Hustler.
Yeah, which, that is a very important name anyone familiar with Old Armored Core will recognize. Unfortunately, like, he's not on this ranking because anyone that is killed in the, in the main playthrough, in the story, gets removed. So, like, these are basically all, like, other ACs that exist in the world. Sometimes you, like, come across some of them, others you don't. But Hustler 1 is the pilot of 9-Ball.
Is that something significant?
Yes, he was the top-ranking AC. Like, if you were to, like, go to, like, a new game and, like, look at the ranking, he would be at the top.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And also plays an even bigger role when you get to, like, Master of Arena, which was the final PS1 Armored Core game.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we're like... I'll have more to say about him when we get to Master of Arena, because that game is really what cements his legacy.
Huh. I was going to ask, but I think it's better off just saving for that.
Yeah.
Then.
Although you do fight him in this game, and, well... It's very particular, but I might show off the final mission, even though it is a very long and grueling one. But I do want to just jump straight ahead and just like show off like some of the late game missions. Like So I mentioned before, there are missions you could take that will like influence which corporation you basically end up benefiting. Either it's Chrome or Murakumo. This is basically the one at the end of the campaign for where you take down Chrome, and you have to like mop up their remnants at like a military base. And this is another one that I say is memorable because of what shows up at the end.
Is it another AC or is it a surprise?
It's a surprise. It's one of those things where, because of its introduction here, it factors into like another tradition that AC games have had throughout like their entire history.
Huh.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Otherwise, like this, the start of this mission is just fighting against like regular MTs. It's not that special, but I can at least use it to kind of describe more about like the finer mechanics of Armored Core, and why I'd say at least for like the classic games, it is one of, if not like the greatest like mecha game franchises ever from like just pure gameplay. You know, and it's not just the customization, which, I mean, obviously that's part of it. You know, being able to fine-tune a mecha of your choice to your playstyle. But part of it, for me, why I stick around with it so much is the something that is a major part of not just mecha games, but I would say all video games in general, if you really want to break down a very core, important aspect of gameplay mechanics and feel, and that is movement. Movement in this game is influenced heavily by your boosters, which is a very simple system. It's like you press X to initiate it and let go, and it like turns off, basically. If you double tap it, you get like vertical control, like it turns into a jump. And how you throttle, like pressing that button to boost around, is what leads to you being able to sustain like fast movement for really long, like longer than it would be if you were to simply do what I'm doing right here, where you just hold and go in a direction. Which, I mean, that's obviously fast and efficient if you're just trying to get from point A to B and there's nothing in the way. But in combat, you don't want your energy meter to deplete, because that means you go through a recharge phase. So in order to get around this and like extend the longevity of how much you can maximize your boost meter, came the technique of boost hopping, where you have like this mechanic where it's like you double tap to get yourself going up into the air, and then like start tapping again as you're approaching the ground, like so. It is a vital mechanic that is, you know, maybe not the most realistic thing as far as like if you were to approach this from a simulation angle, but it's clearly an important mechanic in general because of how it came up in like from players discovering it, and FromSoft, being the cool people that they were, decided, yeah, we're not gonna change the systems to remove this. You know, in fact, we're gonna design future games to make it so that, like, if you didn't learn to do this in the earlier games, you're definitely gonna need to learn how to do it in the later ones.
That's always cool when they just take a thing that was unintentional and say, actually, we're just going to improve on that instead of taking it away.
Yeah, because when you get to the PS2 games, like, they definitely did acknowledge and, like, they changed some of, like, the physics to actually make the, like, the hopping itself a lot smoother. Because you notice, like, there's, like, a bit of a stutter from when I land, you know? Like, there's very heavy, like, shock absorption that kicks in when you land on the ground. Can you rocket jump? Actually, yes. And the only reason I know this is because I recall seeing speedruns for Armored Core games in the past, and there's the final level is infamous because part of it involves going up really, really, really vertical rooms, and someone got around it, but like sped up the process of at least like the first vertical room by just taking a back-mounted rocket launcher, going up against the wall, and just hitting the fire button while angling down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not Quake rocket jumping the way it works, but like explosions when you're airborne will push you away, so that's how you take advantage of it. That felt good. That's like a fun trick that you can do with like doing your like laser blade attack, because you have two different animations if you're either on the ground, which has obvious lag to it, or you can bypass that lag and start up by just initiating in the air, and you have a surprisingly strong like lock on, I guess, when you do it. Like it automatically just shifts your position to the enemy that you're facing.
Wait, is that a giant mecha?
Yep, it's giant and it's even bigger than us.
Holy shit.
In fact, let's get up to it just so I can do it for scale. Yeah, we're about as big as its foot.
Okay, for a PS1 game, this is kind of impressive, I think. I don't know this. Oh,
Bye.
It's dead. It's blew it up. Never mind. I take that back.
Target of operation cleared. System switched to normal.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I would have to double check with one of my buddies who I know is like a huge mark for Mech Warrior, and I know that is like the battle mechs and that get absolutely huge. I'll need to like show footage to this just for clarity, because he knows that from what I've discussed with him that like the average size of like armored cores are like 10 meters in height, which is on the small side of things in the Battletech universe. So I would have to like cross-check that with him and ask him, okay, is that like Atlas tier of like mecha size? Because considering how everyone plays up the Atlas as being the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the universe, like, I have to imagine that's close. Just as durable, yeah. Anyway, let's get back down to like another one of the later ones. Oh yeah, destroy justice.
I can't believe you're destroying justice.
It's the name of an orbital cannon.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, this is the final mission
Triton.
you get if you're backing Chrome and are bringing down Murakumo Millennium. Which the funny thing about yeah, here's why this is significant. It was like one of, if not the weapon that was instrumental in like causing the Great Destruction and causing humanity to revert to an underground society.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's the sort of thing where it's like you can tell there's a certain tone in how like difference in tone between missions provided by Chrome versus ones provided by Murakumo. And Murakumo, I've noticed, like, back when I did the LP and was, like, transcribing all, like, the mission briefings and whatnot and giving my commentary on it, the thing I noticed is that Murakumo always had this sort of, like, holier-than-thou attitude as in relation to them and, like, Chrome, and being, like those barbarians, like, we actually care, you know? Unlike those people. But this is what they resort to when they are in a very desperate situation of having their assets liquidated. That it's even got Chrome, who is the more pragmatic and down-to-earth, where their stuff is more like, look, here's the situation, here's what we need done, get it done by any means, we don't care. And now they're like, oh god, they're going to fucking destroy the Earth if they do this, stop them! Like,
that is
how the tables turn.
Could you not use the weapon that almost wiped out humanity?
Yeah, see what we're getting back to what I was talking about, where like this is a series that has an extremely cynical outlook on humanity's inner nature. They cannot help themselves to resorting to absolutely violent measures for just the pettiest and selfish of reasons.
I'm starting to see like
engaging combat mode.
I'm starting to see a pattern in a lot of FromSoft games.
Yeah, although yeah, at least when it came to Souls, it's obviously more in the case of like decay and whether or not it's worth it to uphold the status quo.
Yeah.
We can buy some time.
Anyway,
Must win this battle.
3 minutes to full charge.
Energy
Forget
So you
if
get-
I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wonder.
Changing the
If I
distribution.
missed.
Firing time corrected.
Oh wait, no. Okay, it was waiting
What?
for like the audio to play,
Oh, yeah,
and then you can blow it up.
right. So you can still do like you said, like you can choose between the two companies, but you can still do both, right?
Well,
Like,
you
or is
choose
it-
one
are
as
you
part of
locked
the
in?
story.
Energy
Yeah, you're locked
Oh.
in. But the idea is that once you beat the final story mission, what happens is you unlock all the other missions that you missed the first time. So that's why I
gotcha.
have everything unlocked, even though I went with the path that brought down Chrome, for instance. You know, because
Yeah.
because that mission has you fighting the giant MT. You know, the one that's like 10 times bigger than you.
Right,
And I wanted I wanted to go with that. Bring down Google Chrome. Yeah, they had it coming.
Energy distribution route partially damaged.
Neat.
Changing the distribution.
And I guess like you get different rewards at the end of them.
Corrected.
Yeah, there's actually different cinematics that play when you get to the end of the war between Chrome and Murakumo, like depending on which one wins. But the way it plays out is that it basically implies that no matter who won, nothing changed.
Target of operation
Yeah,
cleared.
yeah, that
System switched to
that sounds
normal
about right for the tone of this game.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like Kaj brought up a good point. Even though I did it just for the sake of showing it off, it's like you could just blow up the barriers without going to the side tunnels because those nodes that you blow up are just to delay the firing process on the cannon itself. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Oh, you blow up the cannon too, I guess.
Yeah, you blow up a firing mechanism so it cannot do anything.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, trying to think. Oh yeah, there's so I think I only have the energy in me to do 2 more missions. One of those is the final mission, just to see if I could get through it. But I want to get another one that has like it has a certain context behind it that I can use to explain another thing that this game had to it.
All right.
A subject from the Plus Next Generation experiments has escaped from the lab.
God.
And we have to kill them because he's apparently deranged. I should highlight that's not actually an AC. That is technically like an MT because the difference between MTs and ACs is that ACs, the whole point of them is that they're customizable. Like they have like a central core that you then attach like objects to. MTs are more like they're designed to a specific spec and have no deviation. So I think the translation on this kind of fucked it up because they were like, yeah, it looks like an AC, close enough. Manual and automatic. It doesn't mean that. AC obviously means armored core. MT, I forget where the official translation actually came from, but I want to say it referred to muscle tracers.
Muscle? What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't make sense. I just know that in the timeline, MTs are what came first, and then ACs were seen as like an alternative as far as like, because MTs were initially designed as like mechanized vehicles for construction and things like that. So the idea then was with ACs, it was like, well, it's like an MT, but you get extra control over the specs of what you want it to be, that sort of thing.
Do you want to give your giant mecha 4 legs? You can with this one. That's a...
Must be my AC is Doom. Yes,
Doom.
yes. I have no doubt, 110 fucking % that in this universe you could like just sit in your AC's cockpit and load Doom on like the operating system and play it. This is an interesting thing with the mission briefing though, is that it gives a hint to like an AC part that is in the level, because besides them occasionally being mission rewards, you can actually find them just lying around in certain missions. And depending on like how quickly you want money, like taking missions where you know there's a hidden AC part that you can acquire for the sake of selling, that's definitely a good way to get some money in the bank. You don't have to return it? Yeah, that's correct. We don't have to return it, actually. If we find it, it's ours. But the thing
So you
about
ever had-
this plus escapee, it's referring to
Yeah?
a program known as Human Plus, and is it's an interesting feature that has gameplay ramifications because going
Main
back to
system
how you can
engaging
earn and
combat
lose
mode.
money in this game. It is possible to get so deep in the red, like 50,000 deep, that you'll get a cutscene where it's like, well, you are completely fucked financially, so how about you subject yourself to our Human Plus experiments? We'll give you human augmentations that make you more in tune with your AC, as it were. And from there, like, the game restarts. Like, you start the campaign all over, but you keep, like, whatever AC parts you had taken up to that point.
So does anything else happen after that, or do you just have...
So you can do it a total of 8 times is the
Target
thing.
operation
And
cleared.
at various
System
steps
switched
of
to normal
getting the
mode.
Human Plus treatment, you get different abilities assigned to your AC. Some of them are minor enough, like improved radar or enhanced speed, better boost management. But then there's some that are like straight up break the balance of the game, like stuff that these missions are not designed for, which includes, say, being able to fire backcannon weapons without having, while being able to still move around.
Okay, that's a little broken. That sounds a little broken.
Or being able to shoot out energy projectiles when you swing your laser blade. It's like a button combination where you swing it and then you press the boost button during the moment the swing is about to enter its active frames, and then you release like a shockwave. Yeah, New Game Plus. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like a New Game Plus for sucking.
Wait. So I was gonna ask, like, is there a downside, or is it literally just you just start at the beginning, but you still get all your stuff?
I mean, the downside is more like you get looked down on by the people such as myself who are able to play through these games without Human Plus enhancements. But getting past the elitist angle of it all, no, there's no further gameplay ramifications for it. The idea though is that like it has like in-universe lore implications that are bad because it has like causes severe damage to like the human psyche, like outfitting yourself with that many cybernetics that are designed to more directly link you to your AC systems, as it were. The downside is you dehumanize yourself and face to bloodshed. True. That is very true. Yeah, the implications. What implications, Mark?
Implications.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's no problem. We just want to, like do these we just want to make sure that these people that are getting these procedures so that they can feel one with their ACs are that they feel safe because of the implications.
Yeah. Nothing wrong here. Do they do that in other AC games too, or is it just in this one?
So AC1, you can do that if you absolutely fail, like you get 50,000 credits in debt and just do it repeatedly. The follow-up PS1 games do not let you do that. However, you can carry over your Human Plus status if you transfer your save data to that. And then, but you can repeat the same process in Armored Core 2, and then they changed it up significantly in Armored Core 3, where they turned it into, I would say, a more traditional New Game Plus type of system, because they created a optional part that you could equip called Op Intensify that only unlocks once you have completed the main story. And basically, it has limited functionality at the start, but as you meet certain milestones when playing the game, you unlock new abilities for Op Intensify, and that's where you get access again to the stuff I talked about, where like you have the built-in radar, the ability to use back cannons while moving, things like that.
Right.
But Nexus, they definitely ditched it, because by that point, I think they realized that FromSoft was trying to gear themselves really hard to really pushing people that have been with these with this series for several games to actually get really, really good and stop cheesing the shit out of it. but it almost led to a feeling of it being almost unfair, I would say, because you started facing a lot more Armored Cores in those later games where they had Human Plus like abilities, but you weren't allowed to. but like once you got past that and knew how to beat them, it's like, you know what? I don't actually need those. I'm a fucking god. Let's see. Yeah, don't mind that name.
Stop gang Dark Souls. I can't believe Dark Souls was an Armored Core all along.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Trying to remember. Where was it?
Are you looking for like the final mission or something?
Yeah, because it's a very specific name that kind of belies what it's supposed to be. Yeah, fucking weird. I'm trying to forget. This destroy floating mines or something like that. So hold on. Let me look again. Scrolling down from the top. Destroy floating mines. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, destroy plus escapee, intruders, plane computer... Destroy unknown MTs. Yeah, that's not that.
Isn't it called Destroy Floating Mines?
Yeah, there it is. Got it.
Yeah, there you are.
Okay, here we are. An armed band of unknown affiliation broke into the Nest HQ. So we're going to, like, where, like, the services for, like, the Raven's Nest actually are. As you can tell, this is after, like, the war is over. And at this point in the story, it's supposed to be, like, well, now that the big corporate war is over, there's not going to be much need for Ravens anymore. However, someone apparently, allegedly, in quotes, deployed a bunch of floating mines in the corridors, and they need to be destroyed. And like, the idea is like, look, I know there's no more wars to fight, but we kind of have a situation here. Maybe you could help us out? Maybe. I don't know. It'd be a nice suggestion. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's totally a trap.
I mean, you're just destroying a bunch of floating mines. What could happen?
Well, like, the mines are supposed to be destroyed with you in the process.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, this is... For people that have, like, gone through this game, this level is infamous. You know? I mean, obviously, it's the final mission because, I mean, it has to be hard. It has, it has an encounter with Hustler 1, you know? So you'll actually get a first glimpse of what their whole deal is. But yeah, we're just, like, overwhelmed out the gate.
Jesus Christ, they just threw a ton of shit at you already.
It's fine, I have energy weapons for days.
Yeah, you're good. You're good here.
And also, I'm not too worried about how much damage I'm taking because this mission it is the only one that has, like, a halfway point transition where when you get to, like, the second half, it actually refills all of your ammo and armor points.
Oh. Wait. I was gonna ask, like, where is your health? Is it, like, the number at the top?
Yes. Yeah, the 4 numbers in the top left are your armor points, your AP.
Got it.
You'd think your home base would have supplies. Well, yeah, that's the idea, but at the same time, like, this is our home base inviting us in for the express purpose of killing us. Because, like, this is, like, another part of the running theme with Armored Core games. By nature of overcoming all of these hard challenges in an Armored Core game, you know, from a game design perspective, that makes sense. From an in-universe lore perspective, that means you are becoming a dangerous threat in the eyes of everyone else in the world because they can't keep up.
Just a cheery message for your fun mecha video game.
Yeah. Occasionally you'll see as well, like, I can, hold on. Close the door, damn it! Fuck!
Is it supposed to close?
I think it's supposed to when you back away far enough, but it might also have been with the, enemies being too close. But yeah, we don't actually have to destroy the floating mines. That's the funny part. We just need to destroy the enemies.
The floating mines are just a distraction, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're at the halfway point now?
Main
Yeah.
system engaging
Yeah, I just needed to...
Stop such foolishness.
Suddenly the music cuts out, and no joke, it makes things a bit more haunting.
Yeah, actually.
This might take a while, especially because I want to lure this fucking chicken walker down here. Possible. There it is! Come here, you bitch! There it is.
You got him. Wait, was that the boss?
No. Could you imagine if that was?
If that was the boss, that would be very anticlimactic.
No. In some ways, you could almost say the real boss are these fucking turrets on these floating blocks that we have to, like, ascend like it's a platformer. This is where the infamy of Armored Core's final level comes in. And it's tricky,
like
too, because with air control in this is like... basically, when you're not on the ground, your max velocity for moving, your AC, it just goes from 0 to max right away is the idea. Whereas if you're just moving on the ground, you have, like, terrain that kind of slows you down naturally. So with how small these cubes are, you can imagine how difficult it is to line it up with digital movement controls.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I'm not the one playing this, but this seems like it would have been a pain to do.
And you can also see as well, like, that strategy I was referring to where... Oh, no. Oh, fuck. The strategy I was talking about where people do in speedruns, they just rocket jump up the side, even though it means they're taking a lot of damage. But by the same token, they're also using that to, like, skip the bosses in some of the other rooms. So it's like, it doesn't matter to them if they're also... losing a ton of AP in the process. Doesn't help as well that like the impact from these laser turrets are also able to knock you off. Done the section with the tank. It was such a pain. Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I've never really stuck long term with like trying to use like a tank build. The only time I use tank is if I know I'm in a setting where where I don't have to worry about verticality, and it's against, like, some type of boss enemy where I just need to deal as much DPS as possible.
I was gonna say, like, how would you even do this with the tank?
Very slowly and painfully.
Jeez. And you have to take down all these turrets.
Technically, no. It helps, though. Oh, fuck. Okay, goddamn. All right.
Oh, you got there. You got it.
Let's not, Oh, damn. Yeah, like, just the existence of these cubes and their floating patterns make no goddamn sense.
No, absolutely not. They just kind of follow their own thing. It's like the most video game-ass level yet.
That... It's just one of these.
Fucking... The random chicken walker guy.
Who's somehow, like, floating infinitely like a champ. No!
I feel like that's illegal. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, pushing me down, you fuck.
Oh, this, Well, I'm kind of glad I'm not the one controlling this.
It's also been, like, because it's been so long since I played this as well.
Yeah.
Like, it has been years ago since I actually, like, did, like, a full playthrough of this that I'm wondering, man, how the hell did I manage to do this? Because last time I played this, it was on a PS3, I wasn't using save states or anything, and I somehow managed to get through it after a long while without dying or having to restart. That was the crazier part. That was years after I had, like, done my Let's Play of this game.
I think this is where I would have just quit on this game.
Yeah.
Or I would have just, like, brute forced it. I don't know. It's just, the controls don't seem like the controls don't seem like they make it easy.
Yeah, it's like vertical, like, aiming is, like, an inherent weak point of what AC is able to do.
Yeah.
Did that not Why do those plasma shots not work? I want to... Oh, fuck it. There it is. We got a few less.
Nice.
There's some fuckers hiding up there, though.
How far do you have to go up?
Very far. As you might say, like, there are icons, like, on our
Holy
like, radar that they
Yeah.
change color based on height. That turquoise blue means they're above us, and, like, that's how far we still have to go. Although I think this is the
Fucking-
last of these that we have to worry about. Yep.
Nice.
Now we don't have to worry about fuckers, like, shooting us. Now, the question is,
No,
can I
but
not
you...
miss? Good.
Oh,
Okay.
you made it.
Oh, but wait, my bad. There's still more. There's one up there because it was so far out of range.
Oh,
Like-
man, I love having to do precise platforming.
Oh, thank God, an energy bridge. Something that is way bigger in size.
This game is being merciful to you, finally.
Oh, yeah, that's why. Like, there were no more gun turrets, but there's this one asshole who's just stuck inside.
Oh, well,
Loser.
whatever. You don't have to... Look at this nerd. You don't have to
You
worry about
fucked
him.
nerd.
Resistance is futile.
Wow,
Anyway.
you made it.
We got something even worse down this
Oh.
hole.
Your fate is
Oh,
sealed.
no.
Assuming we can get him lured up here.
Enemy ranking AC identified as 9-ball.
Yes. 9-ball is here.
That's him.
Now, if we can only
Is
get
he-
him to, like, get up through this hole so we have, like, a good choke point. I think he's... Oh,
He's
no,
coming.
no. It's almost.
Wait, what? Where the... Is he shooting?
What the fuck?
What is going on? What?
It looks
what is
like he's out of
happening?
bounds.
Yeah. Where is he shooting you from? I think he...
I've never seen this happen. Hold on. Is he gonna... Look, see, I can lock onto him. That's where he is. He's getting stuck. What the fuck?
He's stuck. He's actually stuck.
Because seriously, like, this
Wow.
is the best place
so
to, like,
good.
fight him.
He's so
That
confused.
or, Okay, I'll try a few more times to learn. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck!
Oh my god.
Hustler 1, you dick! Oh!
See,
He fell down.
I don't hear him.
God
He
damn
fell-
it! Ugh.
Are you kidding me? He doesn't want to move.
Fine. If you won't take the high road, I'll take the low.
I'm sorry for... Apparently, this is the luck I've been giving you this stream.
So we're just
All
gonna
right.
go down to the bottom and make him drop down through this hole.
Oh. Is that gonna kill him?
Well, there isn't a block that's like obstructing him. So if we could just get him.
What? What the fuck?
Oh, there
What-
was another
oh.
chicken walker.
I was wondering what the fuck that was about.
Although, like, if he's still stuck up there and isn't gonna cooperate, I might as well. Oh shit!
Oh no, he's there. He's there. He's there.
Fire! 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 For fuck's sake!
You got it.
I got him.
Did you? Okay, you got
That
him.
that really is the
That's
only
it.
good way to deal with 9-ball. The Master of Arena
Yeah.
has you fight him way more often, and like they're better designed fights. If we're being honest.
I was gonna ask. So it's not. It doesn't sound like it's a very good fight.
No, because you saw like the difficulty of trying to maneuver like vertically. Imagine trying to do that while fighting another AC.
Oh fuck that.
Yeah. But at least
Fuck
one thing I
off.
do want to try at least is
Go back. It is not too late.
What?
okay. We'll see maybe if like this dude can drop down or not. I forget. I always seem to have worse luck getting him to come down this way because yeah, that's the other thing. We don't fight 9-ball once. We fight him twice because surprise, 9-ball is controlled by an AI.
What a twist.
It's a
don't know.
twist that gets a lot more emphasis in Master of Arena.
Huh. Doesn't seem like he wants to draw it down.
Yeah, just...
Fucking... For a PS1 game, too, this seems really ambitious for what they're trying to do.
Yeah, just... Oh, man. Okay, he's still below me for
Okay.
the time being. Go, go, go! Yeah,
Are you... Wait,
I
so you're just headed...
like, I'm trying to make sure I don't, like, completely empty my, my energy meter, or else I will be stuck with no way to defend myself.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Because it's all energy weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't boost when it's recharging as well. Oh, fuck. Yes! Aha!
Oh, wow. Actually made
Suck
it.
it.
You
I gotta
now you
check
just-
my back just to be sure. Is he gonna come up? Icon's turning red. Oh, is he? Oh,
Wait,
stuck again.
Is he? What's happening? What's happening? Is he getting stuck?
Bye. Oh shit.
Oh, okay. What the fuck? Is it? What?
Surprise!
Oh,
he
chicken.
still had a roll.
We called him a loser, and he took that personally.
Honestly, I think it's fine if we just leave him be.
Yeah. I think it's better just to leave. Just get out of here.
So this
If
is
it
the
sucks,
AI.
just hit... Oh.
Kind of getting back as well to like Votom's influences.
Mm-hmm.
We similarly are ending this whole conflict by killing our Mecha, or like the person that was like kind of built us up into what we were.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is it gonna play the ending again? No, it doesn't.
No.
God damn it! So
No, we don't get it.
no, but basically what happens is like when you complete that for the first time, you get like an ending CG cutscene where it's a final monologue from like the AI, who was referred to as R, which if you might remember looking back at the very first email, he'd been talking to us throughout the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
And like and basically felt that because of we had done our job and we're becoming too powerful, that they needed to nip us in the bud, because this AI has been trying to like maintain a careful balance to prevent like humanity's destruction. Like as they like trying to remember as well the I guess like the ending dialogue, as it were, like what it covered. Basically what it was is was basically asking the question, do you want to destroy order? Is that what you want? Like, we were needed. That's why we were born. People cannot live without order, even if it is a lie. And it gets to the idea where it's like the whole existence of these sort of AI programs trying to like control and guide humanity are things that were effectively put into motion like years and years before, and like essentially like the implication being like it would have been put into place immediately after an event like the Great Destruction happened, and being like, we need to put safeguards in place so that we absolutely do not turbo fuck us harder than we did the first time. But then it gets back to the whole balancing question of like, how much is too much as far as like control and freedom? Like, does enough time pass that you think it's all right to start giving people more freedom and more responsibility? And it ends basically on a very ambiguous note where like the final question posed is, you or I, which one of us were right in the end? You have the right, the will to figure that out. And that's like
It ends.
very ambiguous. Like, the nest blows up, you and your AC are like not seen by anyone else since then, so it's presumed you've either gone missing at best or died at worst. And so, okay, this is gonna get a bit like tricky as far as how to explain it, because I feel like a lot of the core themings of like this game's story and like what it presents it basically retreads exactly in Master of Arena, but does it in a lot more of a definitive manner. Because again, like 9-ball factors into it a lot heavier, and like you start getting involved in way more explicit stuff that does actually. It's not just a case of them being like, oh, you did your job, now you're no longer needed. It's more like you're specifically trying to like work towards a thing, but stuff is actively impeding your progress, and the only way to get closer to that goal is to like more explicitly draw the ire of the powers that be. But that'll be for Master of Arena, which will be like next month. But and of course there's Project Phantasma, which is in the middle of that and is like way more of a side story, if anything. Still can't believe I got through that Floating Mines mission again after this long. Even though it still hit me with the same frustrations that it always did.
And you didn't even, like, you got through that entire section without dying. Which I'm guessing is very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that was the same thing that happened when I did this completed save file last time, which was years and years ago. Honestly, we might as well do one more bonus.
Yeah.
Little, just a good old no-holds-barred AC arena battle.
just robots blowing each other up. The simple things.
With your skill, one-on-one isn't a fair fight. So we even things up with a bit of a handicap. Now let's start.
Have fun!
Main system engaging combat mode. Enemy
just blow up the other robots.
Identified as Fefner.
They're just pushing me back, and I am just immediately retaliating with more, like, plasma bolts. Like, what was your plan, sir?
What the? I was about to ask, if you were getting pushed back, but I guess you were.
Yes,
that looks
because as mentioned before, explosions impart physics that push you away from like their point of impact. But that, I would say, is actually enough for Armored Core. It's not like a full taste of absolutely everything you could do in this, because again, I was basically using my go-to AC. I wasn't doing anything with like additional parts or like different leg types or whatever. But that's why I've like, because this really does need to be highlighted in contrast to the past number of weeks of Year of the Mecha up to this point, where we've been dealing with a lot of short games. You know, stuff where it was like, we either got very close to the end, like on a playthrough, or actually got to the end in some cases. You know, because like they don't have as much content, but like they're replayable. That's the point. Armored Core is a deep game. Even in this first iteration, where you can clearly identify that compared to later games, it is very simple. But that's because we're not dealing with all the other stuff they added on afterwards, like heat mechanics and overboost and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even from this first game, from the stuff you showed me, it's like, there seems like there's still a lot there to just learn and digest.
Yeah, which is
like, even
why...
the movement alone.
Which is why I ultimately encourage fucking play these games. I mean, they're PS1 games, they're easy enough to emulate. I mean, obviously, like, we all know how much Sony is just allergic to backwards compatibility these days, or providing, like, a solid, decent service on their legacy titles. But, like, yeah, like, you could just, like, download, like, your preferred emulator, run this game, play it. I've even given you tips as far as how to make the controls more manageable with, like, my custom config. Like, just do this. Or if you are really that, like, terminally attached to, no, I need to play every game that involves shooting and aiming with dual analog sticks, then, like, I'm sure you could probably, like, double map, like, the, map the in-game configs to something where it's, like, you know, do something like this, for instance, and then just, you know, you could then just, like, map that to, like, both the actual D-pad or face buttons as well as analog sticks, like in an emulator. Like, you can map it you can map one input to multiple things. Like, that makes sense. But otherwise, I feel this is good and works as far as, like, really highlighting, like, the point of, like, a mecha is a vehicle. Treat it like one. Don't treat it like it's a third-person shooter. You're not controlling a human.
No, you are controlling a giant fucking hulking piece of metal. I mean, not... it's a vehicle, a giant hulking like bipedal vehicle.
Yes. Yeah, which you can make it as a tank if you want. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, just like mess around with like those controls till you get what's comfortable. I can give actually like one decent tip. Base buttons for looking, moving for D-pad, the rest on triggers. I could never get used to looking, moving just on D-pad. I mean, like, but like still try it where like you just have D-pad as just for looking around, and like try and contextualize it in your brain as if you're steering. That's the way to focus on it. But one thing I can recommend as well is like you get a starter AC, and one thing I can recommend to help get money quick is to basically when you get to the shop, open up the sell menu. Obviously, I don't have the original parts that make up the stock starter AC, but the idea is that you should like sell all of the weapons and radar that it comes equipped with, and then immediately buy a particular laser weapon. Let me look and see like if I can remember where it is. It's... okay, no, I believe it's this one. I seem to recall this being the similar shape. But the idea is that just dump everything and get, like, the best energy weapon that you can. And then equip that. Do one of, like, the beginning missions where it's, like, where it's very few enemies. They're very weak and you can, like, take things slowly. But, more importantly, because I showed off, like, Eliminate Squatters, which was, like, I think, one of the starting missions you can choose. But if I can find, again, one of the specific starting missions... no, because, like, I mean, like, these are listed as the same thing, but these are just, it's the same map. This is more like Eliminate Squatters Part 2, if we're being honest. Yeah, Eliminate Strikers is where it is, because, this one takes place on a bridge. It's very linear, and you can just move forward, inching forward at a time, and take out enemies with your laser rifle, and not have to worry about ammunition costs. However, the handy thing about this is that it has a hidden weapon part that you can find in the level, and it's easily found by just going backwards. So then you pick it up, and then complete the rest of the mission as normal, take that weapon part, sell it in the shop, and then just keep going from there. There's like game facts entries that tell you like which missions have like hidden parts on them. So like base your starting mission route on that, so you can get the parts you need and just sell them instantly, and focus for as much of, if not the entire game, on just using energy weapons. Because the savings you get from not having to pay for ammunition is big. That's it. That's basically kind of like my 101 for how to get into Armored Core, the first game, and like appreciate it. And most importantly, build up a save that gets you close to this number, 100%. Because if you can get into there, that means you'll be in an even better position when you start Project Phantasma, because you could just take your save data from the first Armored Core and load it into that. You will have all of your money and all of the hidden parts that you had acquired, because the hidden parts are not available in the shop in Project Phantasma. So that's still your incentive to play through this game in its entirety first before moving on. It's why I often describe with, you know, with when I tell people like where they should start with Armored Core, because there are so many games. I say start with the beginning, because like it's not just because it's the first game, but because you get the benefit of building up data that can then be used for 2 other games that feel like expansion packs. So you start treating the first Armored Core not as... You basically get in the mindset that you don't treat every Armored Core game like it's its own individual brand new entry. You treat them as like categories of a generation. We are in first gen Armored Core.
Right, and it's like the skills you get from playing this game can help you in other games.
Yes, especially because even when we get to Project Phantasma, even though the jump isn't huge, there is like a clear emphasis that the people at From Software designed the game knowing that, like, dude, you absolutely should carry over your data from the first game. Like, yeah, you can play it from scratch and it's beatable, but like that's not the ideal.
Yeah.
So that's it. I mean, as far as where to get Armored Core, I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you. I mean, you can find it somewhere on the high seas. Wink, wink. And then
they can find.
Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, I definitely need to figure out, like, is there anything else I need to wrap up before the audio desyncs just keep driving me crazy with this thing? But thanks for being on board for this one, Neff. I know this was like a fresh experience for you to see, and I was more than glad to finally show this off. Well, that as well as like be kind of a chance to revisit this in like some sort of video format, considering I had done the Let's Play for this on the Something Awful forums in like 2014. It's been that long. Like, I did that and then immediately followed it up with, like, another LP where I was going through both Project Phantasma and Master of Arena. And, yeah, as far as playstyle goes and how I focus on brutal efficiency, like, some things just never change.
Well, thank you for having me on. It was very interesting seeing where it all started from the very beginning.
And you'll be seeing even more of these games. In fact, you'll basically be seeing like all of the mainline games, save for 2nd gen and 4th gen, because I'm biased.
Yeah, so if you want to see more Armored Core, you should tune into more of Week of the Mecha here.
Year of the Mecha. It happens every week, but
yes,
tune
Year
in.
of the Mecha. Not
tune in if you want to see like more of me gushing about like classic Armored Core gameplay, and if you can stomach the fact that I am extremely merciless in my opinions about Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer. Sorry if that upsets anyone. I'll wait and see the follower count go down as people unsubscribe. I'm waiting. Anyway, have a good rest of the day, everyone. You all take care, and I'll try and recover from the scuff. -1. You can't fool me, Hasio. I haven't seen that number drop yet. Take care, everyone.
See y'all.
Game over.